DanganRonpa.
Hey guys, DanganRonpa here. Welcome back to some more Let's Play DanganRonpa. In the last episode, we finished up investigating all of Kibogami Academy and its secrets, and now we go face to face with the Puppet Master. Alright, so, I think I'm all ready, so let's just jump right in. Final trial. Since this is the final class trial, some special rules are in effect. I'll start things off by explaining these rules. If you guys manage to identify Mukuro Ikusaba's murderer, as well as solve all the school's mysteries, then you win. But if you can, then I win. Naturally, the loser has a thrillingly exciting, heart-poundingly awesome punishment awaiting them. And if you lose, that means you will be executed, right? Yep, sure does. And you have no amendments to make to that statement? Of course not. A bear never goes back on his word. There's something I want to know even more than that. Oh, you're looking unusually serious. You gotta tell me, Ike? Is the Puppet Master only one person? Huh? I've got it all figured out. Every last one of you is cahoots with the Puppet Master. You're all pulling the wool over my eyes. Eh? Aren't ya? Quite a turbulent start. Alright, we're gonna need group photos. Every last one of you is in cahoots with the Puppet Master. I'm positive, dude. I even got proof. You took the words right out of my mouth. I'm the one being deceived by all of you. I've got proof too. Fancy that. I have proof of my own as well. Proof that everyone here is conspiring against me. What are you talking about? How could there be 3 people with proof? No, that's wrong. It's not just the 3 of you. I have the same proof too. Huh? You too, Nigs? The proof you guys are talking about is this group photo, right? Yeah, that's it. Huh? Wait, that's not right. I'm in the picture you have. But that doesn't make any sense, because in the picture I have... Look, I'm the only one not there. So I was right. In which case... Hagakure, you have one too, don't you? Can I take a look at it? Alright, but handle it with care. This is an invaluable piece of evidence. This one too! My suspicions were correct. I think I've uncovered the secret hidden within these photos. There's nothing secret about you working together. See, you're all in the picture together. And you're in my picture. I'm the one who's being deceived by all of you. That's exactly it. These pictures were intended to make us fight amongst ourselves. It's a trap set by the Puppet Master to trick us into thinking everyone else is conspiring against us. Oh, I set a trap? And what basis do you have for making such a disrespectful accusation? Evidence that Monokuma laid a trap. He's in a pattern hidden in the pictures. All the pictures share one thing in common. A certain person doesn't appear in them. That person is the photo's recipient, obviously. The recipient of each picture is the only person who doesn't appear in that photograph. I'm the only one missing from the picture I was given. Asahina is the only one missing in the picture she was given. And Hagakure is the only one missing from the picture he was given. While we're at it, this is the picture I was given. In other words, Monokuma gave each of us group photos in which we did not appear. And because of those pictures, we all thought everyone else is our enemy? Ooh poo poo, you figured it out? I figured that was it, what it was. Hint, give me a break. Yeah, but I think there's more to these pictures than just... There's something else that bothers me about them, but I can't put my finger on it. Hey, would you guys mind letting me see your pictures again? While it's not directly related to what we're talking about, there's something I'd like to check. Doesn't bother me, dude. Fine by me too. If memory serves, there's something unusual about these pictures. I should take another good look at all of them to find that something. I think everyone should be able to see it. Togami's picture. Asahina's picture. Hagakure's picture. And my picture. I knew it. Something's not right here. Something. I know where the pictures are, Nags. Gah, and you! Using a fake picture to try and trick me like that really gets under my skin, dude! You must have had a lot of free time on your hands, going so far as to put us all in matching uniforms. Fake? Nope, nope. They're the real deal. What are you talking about? There's no way they're real. Yeah, dude, I don't remember being in any of those pictures. Therefore, they're fake. No doubt about it. Are you really sure about that? Huh? I'll admit, I don't remember having been in any of those pictures either. But does that really mean we can just dismiss them as being fake? What are you saying? It's not because they're fake that we don't remember being in those photos. There's some other reason for it. Some incomprehensible reason. A far-fetched and ridiculous, but terrifying reason. I think everyone should be able to guess what it is. Even without the epiphany anagram. It's not that hard. Amnesia! There we go. All of us have lost our memories. Would that explain it? The whole lot of us have amnesia. That's why we remember the pictures. I can dig that. When pigs fly, you think I'd buy into that fantastical supernatural garbage? Yeah, there's no way I could believe something as crazy as amnesia. Naturally, nobody believes me, but they're going to have to accept the truth, even if they don't want to. If they won't, we're at a standstill. However, those group photos aren't the only evidence I have suggesting we all have amnesia. Alright. A lot of evidence now, huh? We all got amnesia? Since when this is a sci-fi story, dude? I don't have amnesia. I haven't forgotten anything that's happened since we got here. I absolutely remember everything! No, that's wrong! Those photos aren't the only evidence suggesting we have amnesia. This DVD also supports that possibility. That's not anything dirty, is it? No, it isn't. It contains videos showing each of us being interviewed by the Hibogamina Academy headmaster. When you say each of us, do you mean... Of course, that includes you, Asahina. Bullcrap! I was never interviewed for anything! No, he's definitely telling you the truth. It's all right there on that DVD. Your interview with the headmaster. You're serious? This isn't a joke? You don't remember, do you? Maybe I don't, but... just because I don't, you expect me to believe that we have amnesia? Unless you have some grounds for a rebuttal, we have no choice but to believe. How can you be so chill, Togs? Do you get that this is freaking amnesia we're talking about? More importantly, there's something else I'd like to know. More importantly? You said that the DVD contained videos of us interviewing with the headmaster, yes? What was discussed in those interviews? The headmaster asked each of us the same question, one after another. This is what he asked us. Are you willing to spend the rest of your life inside this academy? That's ridiculous. And, how did we respond? What do you think? We said no. No. Actually, everyone agreed. Including me. I, in my own body and with my own voice, agreed to live my whole life here. Why? Why would we agree to that? I don't know either. Like I said, I don't remember. But he's not the only one, is he? Not a single one of you remember, do you? You don't remember consenting to live here. And you don't even remember that interview taking place. So, maybe I don't remember. But are you seriously claiming I have amnesia? And I agreed to spend my whole life? I'd have to be crazy to believe that, dude. Crazy or not, if you don't accept it, we can't proceed. Isn't that right? Yep, because it's true. Huh? It's absurd, but if that's the truth, we have no choice but to accept it. There's no avoiding it, is there? Then, we seriously... Yep, you're all a big happy family of amnesiacs. My head's starting to hurt. And it's not any ordinary amnesia either. You stole our memories. Whoopsie, I guess the cat's out of the bag. Of course it is. There's no way everyone losing their memories at the same time is mere coincidence. But how did you manage to steal our memories? How? No, that doesn't matter one bit. Is hypnotism realistic enough? Would you buy it if I said I cut your heads open and messed around a bit? That's not the problem. No, there's something else. The problem is which memories you stole. Is that what you're getting at? Ooh. I'd expect no less from you, Togami. I can't imagine you only stole our memories of those interviews and photographs. There has to be some objective there. Something accomplished by stealing our memories. That certainly was an objective, and it's got something to do with those incentives as well. Incentives? You mean the incentives you're prepared to drive us to murder each other? Those have some connection to the memories we had stolen? Ooh. They do, but... now my lips are sealed. After all, I wouldn't want you to forget that this is Mukuro Ikusaba's class trial. In short, you're saying you want us to find the culprit in her murder. And this is on hold until we do that. Either way, we've still got to solve all the school's mysteries. So that just makes the first thing on the list. Solving Mukuro Ikusaba's murder. And revealing the puppet master's true identity. Alright. Who could have killed Mukuro Ikusaba? It was the puppet master, no questions asked. That much is certain. First off, is the puppet master really even in school? Of course he is! The puppet master has to be in the academy. Why do you think so? Why did I think so? That's convincing. The puppet master couldn't be here. No, I'm certain he's somewhere else. No, that's wrong! This is gonna be a long trial. There's no question. The puppet master is somewhere inside the school. What? Why? Do you have any evidence? There's a control panel in the room behind the data processing room. That's how the puppet master has been controlling Monokuma. So there's no doubt about it. He's been in the academy this whole time. No doubt, huh? In which case, there's also no doubt that the puppet master is one of us. Huh? Why? Thinking back on what Nagi said Monokuma told him. Yes, there are only 16 students and only they have set foot inside the school. Assuming the puppet master is in the academy, that means he could only be one of the 16. But of those 16, the only ones still alive are us 6? It isn't me, I'm not the puppet master. Neither am I. I think it's Nagi. Why me? It doesn't make sense that you're the only one who managed to avoid being executed. Aha, Nagi was able to survive his execution because he's the puppet master. Crap, you figured it out. Hold on, what the hell are you saying? Relax, there's nothing to freak out about. If we solve Mukuro Ikusaba's murder, we'll know who the puppet master really is soon enough. True enough. We're better off using our heads for that than bickering over this. But we've talked Mukuro Ikusaba's case to death, dude. What else is there to think about? Do we even have anything else to discuss? There most certainly is something that needs discussing. We have yet to reach a conclusion as to what Mukuro Ikusaba's cause of death was. What? Wasn't her cause of death from the wound on the back of her head? No, that's not actually how she died. Her real cause is something else. Isn't that right, Nagi? The real cause of Mukuro Ikusaba's death was the scattered wounds. Mukuro Ikusaba's cause of death was the numerous wounds scattered all across her body. Nice, come on, man. Did you actually read the Monokuma file? These wounds were not incurred in the last few days, but some earlier time. See, it's right there. Those wounds didn't happen in the last few days. That means they don't have anything to do with this. And what if the murder itself didn't occur in the last few days? Huh? If it had already been some time since her murder when the corpse was discovered, then the wounds that killed her wouldn't have to have been inflicted in the last few days, would they? I don't buy it. She had those wounds before she even got here. What? How do you know? Isn't it obvious? She's the super duper high school mercenary, which means she's... You're wrong about that. I have been shot down. I haven't even said anything yet. No, stop. You're killing me. That's seriously not funny at all. At least listen to what I have to say before shooting it down. If you go in assuming you're gonna get shot down, why say anything at all? Alright, more class trials. Alright. Hold on for a sec, guys. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Just getting a little itchy with this headset. Anyway. The group South Express School Mercenary. Shit, now everything's... I told you she crossed countless battlefields. Put simply, she's covering her body. And, battle. No. That's wrong, Fukawa. I fucked up that... thing really bad, but oh well. I still got through it. No. Mukuro Ikusaba was never injured in battle. It says as much in this file, which I found in the headmaster's office. Despite having walked numerous battlefields as a member of Fenrir, not a single wound or scar was on her body during the medical examination upon enrollment. It's actually kind of refreshing to be so thoroughly refuted. Could this be The result of my White Knight's training? Byakuya is just all disgusted. Anyway, the wounds covering Mukuro Yukasaba's body were inflicted after she entered Kibogamine Academy. In which case, isn't it possible they could be the cause of death? Actually, that's the only conceivable possibility. As far as I can tell, the wounds on her stomach and head were inflicted post-mortem. If there aren't any other possibilities, then it has to be that. The cause of Mukuro Ikusaba's death was from the wounds covering her body. But if all those wounds are what killed her, then the murder itself seriously didn't occur in the last few days either? Yes, exactly. When we discovered her corpse in the garden, she had already been dead for some time. In that case, how do you explain what happened the night before? You said the night before we discovered the corpse, you were attacked by someone wearing a mask. If Mukuro Ikusaba was murdered before that happened, she obviously can't be the one who attacked you. Who then was the masked attacker? There's only one person it could have been. The Puppet Master. The masked figure was the Puppet Master. Since Mukuro Ikusaba was wearing the same mask when we found her body in the garden, I assumed she was the one who attacked me too. But that wasn't the case. The masked figure wasn't Mukuro Ikusaba. It was the Puppet Master. What are you laughing about? I'm getting tired of sitting around and listening, so I think I'll get in on the action too. First things first, a question for you, Naegi. All this about me being the one who attacked you is just conjecture, is it not? There's no way you could know who it was, with their face hidden behind a mask like that. I say it was Mukuro Ikusaba. That's what I think. Oop oop oop. Do you have any evidence that could convince me otherwise? There's absolutely no chance it was Mukuro Ikusaba who attacked me. Even if I could see the even if I couldn't see the face behind the mask. By comparing what I could see that night to what I know about Mukuro Ikusaba, but the members of Fenrir, the answer is obvious. You couldn't see her face, so you can't really know who it was. I say it was Mukuro Ikusaba. Even when not knowing what he looked like, it should be obvious. Looking at one of Mukuro Ikusaba's other distinguishing features. And where would this other distinguishing feature be? Her right hand? Her left hand? Her right leg? Her left leg? Or maybe her hips? Mukuro Ikusaba's most distinguishing feature, the mark of the Fenrir Mercenary Corps, is somewhere on her body. You know who it was? I say it was Mukuro Ikusaba. No, that's wrong, Monokuma! Refute. There's a tattoo on Mukuro Ikusaba's right hand. The symbol of Fenrir, a wolf tattoo. But the masked figure who attacked me had no such tattoo. So it's not possible that she was my attacker. Well, alright, I guess it wasn't Mukuro Ikusaba. But still, that doesn't mean I'm the only one left. It could have been someone else. Hagakure, Fukawa, Asahina, and I all have solid alibis for that night. We were in the gym ripping you apart all night long, so it couldn't have been us, dude. Alright, so maybe it wasn't the four of you. But what about Kirigiri? She could have done it, couldn't she? Oh, you're not denying it. Did I hit the nail on the head? Okay, fine. I'll show you. Huh? Show me what? Proof that it wasn't me who attacked Naegi, of course. Having said that, Kirigiri removed her glove. Your hand! My heart skipped a beat. Her hand was covered in burn scars. Grotesque burns, aren't they? I got these burns when I was still an amateur, when I just started work as a detective. Those are the marks you didn't want the others to see. If it means helping unveil the puppet master's identity, I don't particularly mind. Having said that, she clenched her teeth and slid her hand back into the glove. Those scars should be sufficient evidence. The person who attacked you, Naegi, didn't have an injury like mine, did he? No, you're right. I didn't see any burn scars. Then that settles it. The masked figure who attacked Naegi was undoubtedly the puppet master. Poo. This sucks. Not only did my secret get found out, but I was forced to see Kirigiri's nasty scars. Ah, my bad, slip of the tongue. Did I hurt your feelings? Say whatever you want. Doesn't bother me. You're saying everything's cool as long as you have me cornered? Now, don't get ahead of yourself. I mean, you guys haven't figured anything out about Mukuro Ikusaba's murder yet. All we know right now is that she was killed a while ago. That aside, we're totally in the dark, dude. It's safe to assume that she wasn't already dead at the time we were locked up in here, right? Ooh, poo, you needn't worry about that. She was, without a doubt, murdered after the commencement of the Academic Coliseum. Which means her murder occurred in secret without any of us knowing about it. Plus, there was a bunch of time between her being killed and us finding her, yeah? Where was the body all that time? Was it in the garden? If it was left in that place for that long, it would have started rotting, just like you. Then, was it preserved somewhere? But is there really anywhere you could not only hide a body, but preserve one too? There's only one place. I can only think of one place where the body could have been hidden. Yeah, it was in the pool in the kitchen. Mukuro Ikusaba's body was hidden in the biolab. The biolab? On the 5th floor? That lab is being used as a morgue. You could hide a body there no problem, and preserving it is simple too. So you're saying the body was transported from the lab to the garden? Correct. And there's a reason I think the body's been moved too. The evidence suggesting that is the item I know made the move. It was the white vinyl sheet. The reason I believe the corpse was moved from the biolab to the garden is the vinyl sheet we found in the garden. While I was reinvestigating it, I found something. There's a small stamp in the corner of the sheet. Ah, it says biology lab! I'm surprised you noticed something so tiny. It seems something good has come for your narrow-mindedness, Naegi. Anyway, it means that the sheet was originally in the lab. I also found a stack of the same vinyl sheets in the biolab. When the culprit transported the body, he must have wrapped it in that sheet first. And just like that, it sat through the sprinklers, after which the culprit draped it in that lab coat. It all fits together so perfectly. Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion. Do you have any proof the body was wrapped in a vinyl sheet and moved? I have no proof. I was just sharing my line of reasoning. Yet despite that, you're acting unusually defensive. Defensive?! I understand. It must be pretty nerve-wracking whenever our conversation turns towards the biolab. After all, that's where the key to uncovering your secret identity is hidden, isn't it? The key to uncovering the Puppet Master's identity? There's a contradiction in that biolab. An enormous, impossible-to-ignore contradiction. A contradiction in the biolab? Is she talking about... Ah! I can't hear you! I can't hear you! A childish defense. We'll just ignore you and keep going. Alright, now that we're back on track. Could the contradiction Kirigiri said was in the biolab be... Oh, hey! Naegi! What do you think about that one thing? What do you mean, that one thing? Ooh, poo-poo. Of course I'm talking about... your family, Naegi. What? Ooh, poo-poo. I'm sure you didn't forget about that video message they left you. What was that all about? You think they're alright? Why would you... bring that up now?
Your mother, your father, your sister. Whatever could have happened to your family, Naigi. Wouldn't it be tragic if something happened to them?
Stop playing games! Calm down, Naigi. He's just trying to get under your skin. Right. Yeah. I need to relax. I can't let him get to me. He's just interfering with us because he doesn't want us to talk about the contradiction in the biolab. So, if I want to make him shut up, I've got to find that contradiction and throw it in his face. If I'm correct, that contradiction is something that doesn't add up correctly. Machine gun talk battle versus Monokuma. Yes. This should prove it. Yeah, biolab lights. If you don't understand what's going on, 9 lights. There are 16 people that entered this place. Do the math, people. The contradiction in the biolab is in the storage container's lights.
Oh, what are you saying? Oh, what's wrong with the lights?
I've mentioned this already, but the biolab is being used as a morgue. The refrigerated storage units in that room contain the bodies of all your victims. And when a unit is in use, the light on its panel turns blue. In other words, each of the units with a blue light contained a corpse. However, including the container Mukuro Ikusaba's body was stored in, there is a total of 9 lights lit. What does that mean? Chew it up real nice and spoon feed it to me. 9 is not the right number of lights. There should be 10. Given what we know, 10 lights should be lit. That's the only number that makes any sense.
Why wouldn't 9 make sense?
Think back on who we lost so far, and I'm sure you'll see why. Yes, the answer lies in everyone we've lost. It may become clear to you guys now who the Puppet Master may be. Mizuno was the first victim. Enoshima was the second victim. Kuwata was the third. And Fujisaki was the fourth. Mondo was fifth. Ishimaru and Yamada were sixth and seventh. Celeste was 8th. Sakura was 9th. And number 10 was Mukuro Ikusaba.
Wait, there are 10 in all.
Exactly. Given what we know, there should be a number of 10 total victims. However, there are only 9 bodies being stored in the biolab. One of the bodies disappeared?
I've got it! The Puppet Master disposed of one of the bodies to get rid of the evidence.
If you're going to do that, he would have gotten rid of the body connected to this case, Mukuro Ikusaba's. But her corpse was still there.
So, whose body is missing?
Actually, there isn't a body missing at all.
If nothing's missing, then why don't the numbers match up?
Including Monokuma's executions, 10 murders have taken place. However, there are only 9 victims. That's why.
That doesn't make any sense. How could there be less victims than people who were killed?
10 murders took place, but only 9 people fell victim. Why? What could have caused that to happen? Well, we know that there were 10 murders. The Puppet Master would have destroyed Mukuro's body, so the same person was killed twice. That's all that's left. What if the same person was murdered twice? Huh? Murdered twice? Of the 10 deaths that have occurred, one of those was the murder of someone who had already been killed once already.
Someone who is already dead got killed again?
If that's the case, there would only be 9 victims despite there having been 10 murders.
Well, yeah, sure, but that's
quite probable. In fact, that's exactly what happened. It sounds like you not only know that, but also who was killed a second time. Of course, it was Mukuro Ikusaba. In other words, before being killed as Mukuro Ikusaba, she was killed as someone else. And that explains why, before we found her body in the garden, it was being stored in the biolab.
No, that couldn't be. There's no way Mukuro Ikusaba was killed as someone else. Anyway, who is this someone else?
Her cause of death should tell you everything you need to know.
That won't tell you nothing. After all, it's just your crazy fantasy, Kirigiri.
Alright guys, moment of truth time. Who was Mukuro Ikusaba killed as? I think we all should know based on the cause of death.
You think Mukuro Ikusaba was killed as someone else? Was that someone Sayaka Mizuno, Junko Enoshima, Leon Kuwata, Chihiro Fujisaki, Mondo Owada, Kiyotaka Ishimaru, Hifumi Yamada, Celestio What's-Her-Face? Or could it be Sakura Ogami? No. No one is someone getting killed twice. It's just ridiculous.
No, that's wrong! Junko Enoshima. The wounds that killed her, and the wounds that killed Mukuro Ikusaba are fairly similar, aren't they?
What do you mean by similar?
What I'm saying is, Enoshima was impaled by a whole bunch of spears, and that's how she died. Mukuro Ikusaba's death cause of death was the large number of wounds covering her body. Junko Enoshima's cause of death was a large number of spears piercing her body.
They are just similar. They're the same.
Yes, and they're the only two causes of death to be so eerily identical. And for that reason, I believe that those two bodies belong to the same person. So what you're saying is... that the skewered body of Junko Enoshima was preserved in the biolab, and then, after nearly 3 weeks, it was taken out again. And appeared before us as Mukuro Ikusaba. The pieces fit, don't they? It explains how the wounds that killed her weren't inflicted recently. So it's true? Shima's corpse and Mukuro Ikusaba's corpse belong to the same person? Wait, but then... Huh? What does that mean? Since there are actually 9 victims, not 10, it means that someone we thought was dead is actually still alive.
And they're the Puppet Master!
Who is it, dude? Who's the Puppet Master?
Isn't it obvious? Mukuro Ikusaba. She's still alive. She used Enoshima's corpse to make it appear as though she herself was dead. Therefore, Mukuro Ikusaba is alive. She has to be. You have nothing to say? I'm right. I'm right, aren't I?
Mukuro Ikusaba is alive. Mukuro Ikusaba is still alive? But is that really the case? No, I don't think it is. It's not possible for her to be alive. Ooh. Moment of truth time. The body we found in the garden. It was not Mukuro Ikusaba. No, that's wrong, Fukawa. I'm sad to cut the song short, but oh well. No. There's no question that the body we found in the garden was Mukuro Ikusaba. Her body measurements match the information in Mukuro Ikusaba's student profile exactly. Isn't that right, Kirigiri? Mukuro Ikusaba's height is 169 centimeters, her weight is 44 kilograms, Her bust is 80 centimeters, waist 55 centimeters, hip 52 centimeters. 82 centimeters, what? 52. All of which exactly match the corpse. And to top it off, there's also her Fenrir tattoo. I'm positive it was Mukuro Ikusaba's body. But if she's not alive, then who? Someone who's actually alive is pretending to be dead. There's only one person it could be. That's right, everyone. The Puppet Master. The person behind all of this is none other than Junko Enoshima. Junko Enoshima. She's the only one who's still alive. It couldn't be anyone else. Is that really true, though? Huh? I will admit, as long as Mukuro Ikusaba is dead, the only other possibility is Junko Enoshima. However, we watched her get skewered before our very eyes. For Junko Enoshima to still be alive, her death would have had to be a performance. But you yourself confirmed that she was dead, did you not? Come to think of it. I gently brought my hand to Enoshima's dead body. Like they do on TV and in the movies. I checked her pulse and her neck and her wrist. She's really dead. There's no other way to say it. She was completely and utterly dead. I confirmed that she had died with my own hands. Enoshima was dead. There's no question that she was dead. Then all this about her being alive is probably wrong. You've already retracted your claim? Ooh-poo. Ooh-poo-poo-poo-poo. And you tried so hard to. I feel for you, Naegi, but it seems your logic wasn't quite so logical. Ah ha ha ha. Too bad, so sad. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Oh? You haven't given up yet, have you, Naegi? Huh? Of course not. There's no way I'd give up. While I'm glad you haven't given up, how do you plan to clear up this problem you've gotten yourself into? Junko Enoshima is unmistakably dead, and Mukuro Ikusaba is also unmistakably dead. So they're both dead, dude. They're both dead, dude? We're the only survivors. What about flipping the problem on its head? Huh? Flipping it on its head? Assuming Junko Enoshima is alive, how did she manage to survive? How she survived? I converted myself, so I'm positive she's dead. If she's still alive despite that, then does that mean it wasn't Junko Enoshima who was murdered? That it wasn't Junko Enoshima, but someone else? Using some sort of trick? Yes, for God's sake, they were switched. It's incredibly obvious at this point, even a second grader could put it together. But we still gotta go through this. Ooh! Ooh, that was really good. Would that take 6 seconds? Nice. Ooh. Oh, I missed one though. Oh well. I don't care. Yes, they were switched. I've got it! What if Junko Enoshima switched places with someone? Switched places? What I'm saying is, she switched places with someone before being killed. And that someone was Mukuro Ikusaba. If so, then that would make the body reused in the... Ugh, God. If so, then that would make the body reused in the garden murder as well, Mukuro Ikusaba's as well. On top of that, Junko Enoshima's measurements match the info in Mukuro Ikusaba's profile. But if they switched places... How do you explain what we saw that day, dude? That was most definitely Shima who got speared. And anyway, when exactly they switched places? Did she perhaps use some secret ninja art to switch places just before she was killed? Yeah, there isn't any way they could have made the switch. I guess we're on the wrong track. There is a way. There's one way the two of them could have switched places that covers all the possible issues. They switched places from the beginning, of course. It's likely that the two of them had switched places from the beginning. Huh? From the beginning. From the first time we met, if we assume the two of them had already switched places then, there's no need to make the switch just before she's killed. Because the person who was killed was Mukuro Ikusaba all along. Wait, then the Shima we met was actually Mukuro Ikusaba? So that means we've actually met Mukuro Ikusaba? I even talked to her like it was no big deal. We all met knowing little about one another. So the moment Mukuro Ikusaba introduced herself as Junko Enoshima, we had no way of telling the difference. And that's how they switched places, by doing so before anyone could notice. But hey, didn't Mukuro Ikusaba have a tattoo on the back of her hand? There wasn't a tattoo on Enoshima's hand though, was there? I'm sure she just kept it hidden using foundation or something. And as a result of the explosion in the water used to put out the fire, it came off, revealing the tattoo. And on top of that, the fake nails on Mukuro Ikusaba's corpse are the same fake red nails Junko Enoshima wore. But if she was using foundation, yes, it means the lack of a tattoo is insufficient proof that someone isn't Mukuro Ikusaba. So you did us a huge favor by not catching on to that during the discussion about who attacked Naegi. Too bad for you, Monokuma. It's too late to deny it now. Seriously? This whole thing has been in the works from the get-go? I must admit, it's quite the elaborate scheme, having Mukuro Ikusaba assume the role of Junko Enoshima. And they were able to pull off something so elaborate because they were working together. For her to be working with Mukuro Ikusaba, a member of Super Duper High School Despair, that means it's possible that Junko Enoshima is also a member of Super Duper High School Despair. What's wrong? Did you lose the will to argue? He's just scared, that's all. Scared? Scared of what? Fear and terror are emotions rooted in hope. All I have is despair, so such emotions mean nothing to me. Then why the silent routine? Because you're retarded. You really think I'm Junko Enoshima? Ooh poo poo. As if! Then tell me why you tried to obscure information about the real Junko Enoshima. I tried to obscure information about Enoshima? And when did I do that? I didn't think you'd admit so easily. But try as he might, he's not fooling me. Because I've caught on to his tricks. He hasn't hidden information just once, but twice. The first time the Puppet Master concealed something was during my investigation. And that was the emergency interview DVD. While I was watching the DVD with all our interviews in the AV room, that's right, Monokuma cut the power. You deliberately prevented me from watching the rest of the DVD, and the reason you did is because you didn't want me to see the real Junko Enoshima recorded there. I get it, dude. A DVD with footage of all of us would obviously have Shima on it too. If Naegi had seen the real Enoshima, he would have figured out that the Enoshima we all met with on the first day was a fake. That was just a coincidence. That was no coincidence. The Puppet Master was definitely responsible. Besides, that's not the only time he tried to hide information about her from us. There's one other case aside from the DVD that I can throw in his face. Hey, another machine gun talk battle. I love machine gun talk battles, don't you guys? Alright. And it would be the group photos. In case you guys didn't notice, it will all become pretty clear now why he was hiding, how he was hiding Junko's identity in the pictures. The DVD isn't the only thing you try to conceal. Isn't the only time you try to conceal information. You did the same with those group photos. My heart! I noticed it while I was comparing the pictures you gave everyone. There's something strange each of these pictures has in common. And what's strange about them? There's something else each of these pictures has in common. And if you guys need to, I'll highlight it later. I'll probably highlight it in editing. That something is Junko Enoshima's face. Junko Enoshima's face. Her face is the only thing that isn't shown in every single photograph. No matter how you look at it, her face not being visible in even a single photo is extremely unusual. Plus, Mukuro Ikusawa does appear in these pictures, which means that when they were taken, the two of them had not switched places. In which case, the Junko Enoshima whose face is hidden here is, without a doubt, the real thing. Which is exactly why you had to choose these... Which is why you had to choose pictures to give us where her face couldn't be seen. Because if we were to see the real Junko Enoshima's face, we could learn the truth. If the Junko Enoshima we knew wasn't the one in these pictures! Xanadu! Naegi's right about everything. Junko Enoshima and Mukuro Ikusawa traded places before we met. And the real Junko Enoshima who killed Mukuro Ikusawa to make it appear as though she was dead, is alive now. And she's the ringleader behind the Academic Coliseum. She is Super Duper High School Despair, and she is the Puppet Master! Xanadu! And with that, we've revealed the Puppet Master's identity, and explained how the murder was carried out. No, you've got me all wrong, see? Don't waste your breath. There's nowhere left for you to run. I'll show you the completed puzzle and bring an end to this! And as usual, I'll cut this out for you guys, so I'll see you guys when I start it up. Here's exactly what happened. Not long after arriving at this academy, we met Junko Enoshima, the Super Duper High School supermodel. But she wasn't the real Junko Enoshima. The girl who stood before us then had switched places with Junko Enoshima. She was the 16th student, Mukuro Ikusawa. However, it wasn't long before she was murdered by Monokuma, aka the Puppet Master, as Junko Enoshima. Having preserved her body in the biolab, which serves as a morgue, the Puppet Master made use of her again. She removed her body from the biolab, wrapped it in a vinyl sheet, and carried it to the garden. Also, she could get rid of Kirigiri by setting her up to take the fall for Mukuro Ikusawa's staged murder. To make it appear as though Mukuro Ikusawa was still alive and secretly moving about the school, the Puppet Master hid her face beneath a mask and plotted to kill me. Then, having burned the image of that mask into my mind, she fled my room. And put the mask on Mukuro Ikusawa's body. To make me think that Mukuro Ikusawa and the person who attacked me were one and the same. So we would believe that she had just recently been murdered. And finally, the puppet master planted a bomb on the body so she could destroy evidence. So she could hide the fact of the body that Mukuro Ikusaba and Junko Enoshima were the person we all met in the beginning were the same individual. That is the truth behind Mukuro Ikusaba's murder. And the person who orchestrated it is the person who controls Monokuma, the puppet master. And the real Junko Enoshima. How is that? That was everything there is to know about this case. What, back to your old broken down act? You can try to run, but we're not letting you get away. Come on, man, show yourself already. You're not an endangered species. How long are you going to stay in hiding? Give it up, Junko Enoshima. It's over. Over? Oop-poo, oop-poo-poo. Did you think the climax would really be the end? Well, you're wrong! We're just getting started!